So for this, we'll go ahead and start with a blank VI and just snap those on both sides. For this, we'll just be making 3 LEDs pop up at different times, turning on, say, like a red one, a blue one, and a green one. I'll start by going to Modern and going in Decorations and choosing something like flat, rounded. It's pretty good. But this is just where the LEDs are going to lie, trying to make something nice and easy to look at. If I hit Shift and right click, this top thing here is an automatic tool suggester. So if I click that and turn it off, I can click on this paint tool. And right now it says brown is selected. So if I hit this decoration that I made, and it'll color it brown. If I right click, I can change that. And I'm just gonna do black. So then shift click, right click to turn on the suggester. So if I right click and go to Express or just look for round LED, I can just place one there. Now when this pops up, we have 2 ways of clicking. We can just click this on and off, and that'll turn on and off the LED physically. If we hold down Shift and then click it, we can select the thing and then move it around. So what I want to do is grab one of these corners and hold Shift so it doesn't end up being an ellipse or some kind of ellipsoid, but I want it to be a circle, and I'm going to name this one, whoops, double click on there, and I'll name this one red. So as you may have noticed, it's not red yet, it's just green. But if I right click on properties, I can set the on color to a red, and I can set the off color to maybe a really dark red. And then if I hold Control and hit Shift, whoops, if I hit Shift, select it, hit Control, and then click and drag over, and that'll give us a copy. If I do the same thing again, I'll have 3 LEDs. Now you may have noticed these are pretty out of a line, so I want to line them up having equal distance between them horizontally. I'll click this, and then I want to line them up the other way as well. So I'll line them up by the top edges, and you can see that put them all next to each other. So we'll rename this as blue, and this one as green. So change the properties on these as well. Just do a green, and green, and the blue to some kind of blue. Maybe a really dark blue. So if I click on these, I can test what color they change. And then once I'm happy with this layout, I can go to Group, so then they end up staying together. And I'll just move these 3 guys on top of this here. Maybe make this a little bit bigger. It's pretty even. So that doesn't look too bad. So then we move on to our block diagram, where we're going to need to create some kind of variable that we can control the LEDs with. Now we'll want to program, so we'll go to Programming, and I'm just going to do a simple flat sequence where one thing occurs, the next thing, and then the next thing. So we'll go to Programming, Structures, Flat Sequence. So the first situation will be for just one light being on, and then the second one will be for the blue one being on and the rest off, and the green one being on for the last one. So if I right click on this edge here, I can do Add Frame After, so that'll be for the blue light being on, and then add another one for the green one. So there's my 3 sequences. And I need to create that variable, so if I right click on one of these LEDs here, I can go to Create Local Variable, and then I place that on there, and I want to connect it to this LED, and I want to change this to Read. And then just do that for all of them. Connect, connect, read, create, local variable, and read. So So that's for all of those. I want to then, if I can, copy these variables by hitting Control and dragging up to my first sequence. Oops, that was a little extra there. Need that. I want to change this to right. So what I write here will be read by my variables down there. So green's on bottom, oops, red on top, and blue in middle, just to keep things nice and neat and same order that I have them over there. I'm going to go to create constant. So that's going to create this constant here that's either false or true, depending on how I click on it. In the first situation, I want the red to be on, so I'm going to make that true. And I'm going to make 1 for all of them. So constant, and that one's okay to be false, and create another constant, and that one's false. I'm just going to move this over to have a little more room. And then I want to be able to cycle through the different ones based on time. Now you could write some kind of function to do different kinds of timings, but I'm just going to do a simple wait. That'll wait a certain amount of time and then move on. So I need to create another constant again. And I'll put 1500 for, I believe that's 1.5 seconds. Now I'm going to need all of these variables again in the next one. So I'm going to hit Control and run over. And hit Control and move it over. But what I do need to do is change which color is turned on. So I'll turn off red and I'll turn on blue for the second one. And for this last one, I'll turn on green. So I'll have that. And I want this to be able to repeat over and over until I hit some kind of button to stop it. So I'll go to Programming again, Structures, and this time I'll go to a while loop. And I want to put everything inside of this while loop. And if you look at the bottom here, red corner, we can right click on that and hit Create Control. So that's going to create a stop button here, which when I hit run, it'll keep going through the sequence over and over again until I hit that stop button, stopping the program from doing what it's doing. So if we go back to this view over here, we can hit run and see what happens. Okay, so this is saying I'm missing wires from this guy to its constant. And from this guy to its constant. Just fix this real quick. So grab that and go there. I'm just going to move this over. Grab that, go there. And grab that and go over there. Okay, sorry about that. But we'll go ahead and try to run it again, and we see the red on, and then the blue's on, and then the green's on, and then so on. And if I hit stop, it'll stop going. Whoops.